It's the TCTV training show. The TCTV training show. We'll teach you how to shoot. We'll teach you how to light. Teach you how to mic and edit right. Each second Saturday there's a free training, from programs on display to focusing and framing. It's the TCTV training show. The TCTV training show. You're watching TCTV. It's the training show. The TCTV training show. Second Saturdays at 12 o'clock in Studio A.
Good morning. I'm Ray Johnston. I'm a staff member here at TCTV. Second Saturday, we're going to be talking about television lighting. Without lighting, you have what? Radio. We're going to start with some basics. There's some ideas I want to show you on the screen here. This is how the big boys do it. Very complicated. Sometimes it takes up to 2 hours to set up something like this. Second picture, please. Anyway, real simple lighting. 2 mobile homes split apart, got black visqueen on it, and 1 reflector in the sunlight. Next picture, please. There's what you get. The sun and 1 reflector. So you don't need a whole lot of complicated things. Next piece. There is a typical setup, kind of a key back and fill for product with a television. You need a lot of cables, but if you got the room to do it in a corner of a garage somewhere, you can make it look really well, really professional. Car headlights, they work really great. They create a mood. Guys, I don't know, somewhere between lighting a cigarette and playing a harmonica, but that is a car headlight. That is a 250-watt light about 6 feet away with a piece of scrim over it. You used to know the show. They do a lot of dramatic kinds of lighting like that. Basic flat lighting. You want to make it look a little bit nicer. A little bit of shade to it, a little bit of Rembrandt, they call it. That gives it a little bit of shadowing on the side. And then you can even dramatize it a little bit more. Same thing there. School portrait look, flat. You take 1 light here, back it up about half the distance between your key light and your soft, and you get something like this. Just enough to make it look really professional. There we go. Lecos, you can do a lot with those. I'm going to just go into some lighting instruments for the moment. The scoop, nice, soft, flat light, illuminates everything around an area. You can do probably 50 foot for just a nice, even light on it. The Fresnel, you can flood or spot these. Again, closer, you can flood them out, light up a table with 3 or 4 people on it. Spotlight, you can do a really nice key light with it. A very versatile piece of machinery. Here's the Leco. Now the Lecos will create any kind of an effect. If you notice in the back, we're using 2 Lecos. One is filtered red and one is filtered kind of a blue-green. You can focus them together and create a dimension like that. Real simple little pieces of work. What, $3? Something like that? Around a little 40-watt light bulb. You can have a kid sitting in the dark with his laptop. Put that on him. He's amazed. Real simple little things like this. You've got gels aplenty to create any kind of a mood that you want. I'll grab my note here a little bit. The one thing I do want to stress about these, when you're using them, if they've been on more than 2 or 3 minutes, they are hot. And I mean they are hot. You will burn the flesh off your fingers. with the portable outfit, we'll get into it in a little bit. These things, because they're flimsy, they get really hot. If you need to adjust it, pair of pliers and move the barn doors. Do not try to do it with your fingers. There's a sampling of the gels that we've got. There's a file cabinet back there, and you can just mix and match depending on what kind of effect you want to have with gel frames. Gel frames. You can preset them. Some of them work great for flesh tones. Some of them just rock and roll music video effects, depending on what you want to do with it. The cookies. Next picture. There it is. These are about $65, $70 a piece. You can have them custom made into anything you want, like ours back here, the TCTV logo. These are the ones we have available. You can do music notes. We've got buildings, snowflakes, anything you want. You slide them in the Leco. You can diffuse them. You can sharpen with it. But they are available. And when you check out, now they will only work in these two Lecos, so they are an in-studio thing. You can't use them out in the field. We don't have the Lecos for outdoor use yet. I want to talk a little bit about handling light bulbs. If you have to change them or something goes wrong in the field, call somebody. We can change it for you. In a case, there's a 3-letter code on it, A, B, C, D, D, Y, whatever it is. Do not touch the bulb at all, even a brand new one. Oils from your finger will attach itself to the bulb. You fire the bulb up, it will explode most of the time, or it will burn out. So be very, very careful with it. Light has a temperature. Sunlight is like, what, 56 Kelvin, I think it is, yeah. Indoor warm light like this is about 3,200. White balance, white balance, white balance will take care of most of the problems that you have with color temperature if you're not sure what kind of light you're using. If you're in an office, neon lights, they'll drive you crazy. But white balance your camera, and the camera will accept it. If you want more information on it, when you check out a light kit or you're getting ready to do something in here, talk to one of the crew here, and they can set you up on exactly what you're looking for, especially on a field location, because you don't want to get 30 miles out here and try to figure out the mathematical formula of trying to filter for different kinds of light. Power consumption. You're in your house. Most circuits, I think, are 15 to 20 amp circuits. You don't want to go full board on it. Stay around 2/3, 3/4 of the power. There is a formula, like a 500-watt light bulb uses 4.5 amps. 1,000-watt uses about 9. So with a 20-amp fuse, you keep it around 15 or so, and you should be safe. Consider also, just because the plug's not being used, that doesn't mean that somebody's not in the other room ironing their shirt with a 2,000-amp, iron, 2,000-watt iron. But anyway, just know your location and what power is available to you. And we're going to talk a little bit about lighting techniques. I'm going to move this over here. Basically, you're going to be shooting one person, one camera, 3 lights. Can everybody pretty much see back here in the corner? This is ideally a setup. You probably are going to have half the room. If you're sitting in your living room, it's going to be pretty close. But again, you can adjust for key back and fill. Your key light. That shoots the detail of a face. See what it does? There's your key light. That gives you that highlight for hair, nice complexion. You have a fill light. This gives you general illumination. And yes, I've seen people use it this way, as silly as it looks, but it works at times. And then you have a backlight. Now these lights need to be approximately, from the view of the camera, about 45 degrees, and I've got these down, but about 45 degrees up. That will cut any shadows down underneath the chins or anything like that. Your backlight, you want to shoot, kind of focus it right at the back of their neck. And that'll give them a nice little separation on your shoulders. Two things you have to adjust for is blonde hair, white hair, and no hair. You will get reflection back on it. So again, just be aware that lighting makes all the difference in someone's appearance. Too much backlight makes the white hair look like, Dr. Shelgoof. Anyway, that's the basic setup. These kits, when you use them, just a simple little thing will save you a lot of heartache. You see how the weight is here. If you line that up on a leg, so, it's less apt to fall over. And I've seen it, and that makes all the difference. There it goes. All right, get this out of the way. Get your notes here. You also have an option of a fourth light, a background light. Let's say you're using a flat or you've got pictures on a wall or something, you may want to light up the back also. Also with green screen. We have a green screen in the studio that extends from about here all the way to the back. But here's where your backlight comes in. Now you can do green screen at home. We have cloth that you can tack it up outside your window and then shoot something. And you can have fish swimming by or whatever you want, but you have to light that screen up. So your backlight is important. So when you check out a light kit that has a maximum of 3 lights in it, get a fourth light if you're going to do any kind of background shots, anything like that. When you're lighting a studio shot, you have movement, intentional movement and random movement. Intentional movement is Grandpa walks over to the fireplace and he's going to pick up the books and he says, "Kids, shall I read a story to you?" He needs his key back and fill. Then he's going to go over to a chair and sit down. You still need your key back and fill light just for lighting. You've got unintentional movement, like me, where I'm going. I'm over here, and I'm walking over here. If your subject's going to get way off into the side over here and he's walking into possibly light, you need to light him up a little bit because television really does not like no light. It will turn real dark on you. Butterfly lighting is 4 lights where you may have someone here talking to someone like this, and you put a key and a fill, and then he may turn around and gesture this way, and he's totally in the dark. So you need to do kind of a butterfly light where you've got 2 key lights more or less and a fill that will cover an open area. Limbo lighting. Everybody know what limbo lighting is? They got a bar about this high and you kind of dance underneath it, Limbo lighting is totally black. Now this is a small picture, but you see how it gives no idea of where he's at or where anything is other than him. Very dramatic. You can get extreme close-ups, very emotional kind of things. If you want to get a really good example of lighting, go to a museum. Look at some of the masters, the way they painted with, and they just had sunlight. They didn't have key back and fill, but they knew how to use light and what light would interpret in oil paintings and stuff. Rembrandt lighting, we call it. It's just a little bit of shadowing like I showed you earlier. It's beautifully lit. Pardon my glasses. Location. I showed you that sample of, here, yeah, I want to bring this up. This is an example of, you remember how the newscasters used to have you sitting there at their desk and they'll say, "Thank you for joining us tonight," and all their lights go down and their backlight comes up. There's why you could use a method you can use for your backlighting. That just shows you the silhouette of it. Okay, next picture, I think. There it is. Sunlight. No filters, no nothing. use your subject as your filter. Instead of having the sun over here in your picture, move the camera around to where it just catches your light. Works in photography, works in television, every time.
There's a reflector on him though, right?
Yeah, you can use a reflector on him. They've actually got two reflectors. There's one here that's sitting way back, catching a lot of the sunlight. And then this one is just, again, for the fill. So you're basically making key, back, and fill again. Office lighting. Anybody going to shoot in an office? Neon lights? Are you? Yeah. Can be a real problem. White balance, 99 will take care of 99% of the problem. But it is a different light. If you shoot it set up for this kind of lighting, and you shoot an office, blue, green, everybody looks zombie looking. But used to be that was your enemy, because we didn't have white balance for cameras. We just had to shoot it and then filter it. So between filtering gels and white balancing, you should be able to take care of it. If you have a unique situation with it, consult somebody here and they can help you out with it. You have to know your camera too, what resolution, how much light you need. But now today's cameras have all kinds of things. Shutter speeds, manual iris, auto iris. There's a whole myriad of adjustments that you can make on a camera. That scene right there, nice daylight shot. You kind of see a light right here. You've got a lamp here showing this. This is shot in the middle of the winter at 7 o'clock at night. It's totally dark outside. They made it look like it's sunshiny. So with placement of light, you can do anything. You can create any kind of an illusion. There's no place like home. Okay, aesthetic lighting. You can light up trees in a yard or an office. A whole bunch of these to make it beautiful, beautiful. You've got highlight, you've got depth, and you got 6 of these. There's the trees. There's 4 of them. They're 60-watt light bulbs. Here, 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 and here. Now, whether you want to light it for television or just for a party, you've got these little cheap little $3 things, and they'll get you out of trouble every time. Next slide, please. You may be in an area where you can't fit lights, and you got 2 people checking the mail, standing there. What's for dinner tonight? How are you going to light that? This has got a 1,000-watt light with a white scrim outside the door and a reflector here, lit up the entire room. Now, in people moving in and out of this shot, watch for shadows and compensate by adjusting your lights. But you don't need a 5,000K big boy to light something like that. White sheet over it, exposure on your camera, you've created a really nice looking shot. When you light someplace outside, you want it to look like what it is. What's a football field look like? You can have lights shining in the light. Again, adjusting your iris and stuff, take care of it. But make your outside look like the outside of where you're at, if that's what you're trying to create. Whether it's a tree like we were seeing, you can backlight, or something like this. This is shot with 4,000-watt ungelled, unfresneled Fresnels, and 1 sports light from the auditorium. But look how it lit up, everything. Now we're 20 yards back and it's still lit up. I think we're about ready to wrap up. Oh, yes, please.
For those of us who have programs that we produce right about where you're standing,
yes,
we put the table down, and we come in early enough before the talking talent shows up, how would you set up the lights to have the best production possible?
Okay, give me describe this, the.
Well, we have often 3 talking heads and a host.
Okay.
And they're positioned pretty much with a little coffee table about where you're standing now. Mm-hmm. We're wondering which lights would you bring on so that it It gives the best color, best lighting.
Everybody gets a key, everybody gets a fill, and everybody gets a backlight, generally. One light can serve several places. You can have 2 lights, backlight 4 people, or 2 people. Depending on what your background is, are you going to be using flats or screen?
Well, sometimes we just sort of have it fade to the black screen in the back there so that it's just unlit back.
Okay, and they wear real dark clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. Backlights, you know. You can have, now are you talking about like 2 guests and a host, or a host in the middle, or?
No, host usually is off
Off
to
to
the
the
left-hand
side,
side.
yeah, off the side, like the normal talk shows. Two lights, one for your backlight for your host, and one backlight that can backlight 2 people. They're close enough together that you can, not directly on them, but enough that you can get nice separation for it. So you got 3 people with 2 lights. Now your key lights, you've got person 1, you got the person next to him with his own little key light, then you got your host with a key light. Then scoop it. Boom, 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 for your fill. Whatever amount of lights you need. We've got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, I think we have 3 or 4 scoops. We have 4 scoops, something like that. So there is enough overall lighting to bring everybody up and still have that definition, that look on it. Now from there, be creative as to, you know, scrimming. You can use a Lico even for a backlight, because you may want to project something on the back, just a piece of slash lighting, because with a Lico you've got shutters that you can control the actual shape of a beam of light. You can make a diamond out of it, a slash. Again, just being creative, adjusting, you know, the shutters in it. Are you having anything on coffee tables in front of them?
Generally, there's a cloth covering it. The other challenge we ran into is everyone has hair in their head except one person, and it's usually a very bright head, you know, and I'm not sure what you can do for lighting or if you do cosmetic adjustment.
Yeah, you can use makeup. Lighting will make a difference. Like I said, when you're lighting a group of people, the hardest part is a blonde, white hair, and no hair, especially really bald, you know, shaved heads. You get everything set up just right, and you got this almost glare. Powder it down if you can. Something else I'm going to show you too is a trick I thought about, is a pair of glasses. Anybody ever shoot anything, you get glasses and you get reflections back in it? All you need to do is take the glasses, tilt them a little bit like that. Light will hit it and go down. They still have their glasses on. They can still see, but all you're doing is tilting the glass just enough, not so it looks silly, but just enough to make the difference of whether somebody, you get this reflection from a pair of glasses. But with, you know, you were talking about doing interviews in houses, glass reflecting lights to pull the drapes. You know, drapes make a nice background. Yeah. Have you run into any other situations that, have you done this before? Or?
I think I used a lot of daylight with in the room, and so when a cloud would come over, I'd have a problem with that, and
Right.
I wouldn't want to interrupt the interview. I'd just have to keep going.
Yeah. Don't use the sun.
Yeah.
Pull a drape is one answer. Sometimes you're going to go into an area and it's all glass. You know, like, okay, you can still set up lights and color balance, again, 2 different kinds of lighting. And like I was saying, in offices, same thing. You can still use this kind of lighting in an office building, and if you put a white card out there that picks up both the sunlight and the artificial light, the neon light, whatever it is, tell the camera that's what white looks like in this lighting condition, and it should balance out. Now, technically, you can get into post-production adjustment of light, but I'm not going there. It's complicated. But yeah, you're right. You get this beautiful shot, and all of a sudden the cloud comes by, and you almost literally see the cloud go past in your lighting. But basically, close the drapes and light it like that. Yes?
You were saying earlier about green screens and making sure that they're lit. For green screens, do they just need like a solid flat lighting over the whole of the wall? Or-
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
See the lighting grid up here, and that light that's above? It's kind of a rectangular shape. I don't know if everybody can see that. Now here, this studio is set up with LED light, and you can set side light, overhead. You see, and they may have a shadow somewhere. They used a little Fresnel to knock the shadow out. You want that as even as you can, even in curves. And well, it comes down to the floor. We had an issue at one time. We had conduit pipe about 1.5 feet above the floor line there that we had keyed in. And sometimes you'd have to really bright that up so you didn't get any shadowing on it. But as flat and as even light as you can get with a green screen. But anyone else? More ideas, thoughts?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, I enjoyed today. Like I said, it was going to be kind of a basic lighting idea, but I think you've seen how just simple little tricks. We can do this again sometime. I don't have the information in front of me as to when this program is going to air. If any of you at home wants more information about our lighting techniques, give us a call down here at TCTV, and we're going to have the phone number up on the screen so everybody can talk to us. And again, I want to thank everybody for their contributions there.